Good morning, all of you. Welcome to the Data Analytics with Career Guidance course. Today, we are in day 5 of SQL Server class. So what are we learning today in this session? We'll be learning about string functions. First of all, let's understand what is a function. Function is actually a set of instructions which we use it for performing some calculations. Like what we have functions in Excel, like sum, average, minimum, upper, lower, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. Similarly, we have function in SQL as well. In that, today, I'll be teaching you about how we can work on, how we can use this string functions, that is text functions. String means text. Right, let me minimize this and let's go to our SQL server. I'm already connected. I'll take this new query. Also, I have a notepad which I have prepared for you people where I have so many functions one by one I'm just given. So we can use all these functions and learn how to use this text functions, that is string functions. First, let's see how we can convert the case. Suppose I have the text in lowercase. I have the text, in different cases. I want to change that to uppercase. Or if you want to change the case to lowercase, then I can use upper or lower. Let's go here to our SQL server and then we'll write one query. Before that, let me connect. Select from orders. Right, so let me select customer name. If I execute this, you can see that I have the names here like this. I want to convert this into uppercase. So what I'll do, just say, I'll use this function upper open bracket and I'll give this customer bracket. Now let me select execute. You can see that I'm getting this capital letters, that is uppercase. I don't have the column name, you can give alias name because you're applying the function on this particular column name. Let's say as function, I'm just giving a column name. You can give any name here. I'll just go here, execute and see. I'm getting this name. What if I want to convert the customer name into lowercase? Let me copy this, paste it here, and I'll change this to lower. Here, let's change this to select and say execute. See, all the characters, they'll get converted into lowercase. All right, next, concat. So what is this concat? We have this concatenate in Excel. Similarly, we have concat. Here we can concatenate, that is, we can merge more than one column. That is, I have two different columns. I want to convert that, concatenate that, combine that, and create one column. Let's say, for example, I will select select here. Let me select region, and then let me select state. All right. I'll execute this. I'm getting this region and state. What I need is I need the combination of these two. Let's say I will concat open bracket region comma state. All right, let me select F5. You can see that these two columns got merged here. But you can see there is no delimiter. Now, what is delimiter? Delimiter means it is actually a character which will separate the data. It can be a comma separator, it can be hyphen, it can be any character which will separate your data. Now, in this case, I want to use hyphen. So what I'll do, I'll go here. I'll take hyphen like this. You can see that this is text 1, text 2, and text 3. So what you see here, this is hard-coded value, which I put that in single quotes. Let me select this and I'll say execute. Now you can see there is one character here. All right, so this is concat. The concat means we are trying to concat more than one column. All right, what if I want to add one more column here? So what I'll do, let me copy this. I want to add city. Take this city, select F5. You can see that I'm getting the city as well. But I want a separator here. Again, I'll give one more cap. Select F5. See? So concat is actually used for concatenating. That is, you're trying to merge more than one column. That is, in this case, I've taken region, state, and city. You can keep adding this. But the problem here is I am adding this delimiter every time. For that, we have one more function called as concat underscore ws. So what is this concat underscore ws? Concat is to merge more than one column. Concat underscore ws will concat with the separator. What is with the separator? With the separator means suppose I have some columns here. I want those columns to be merged, concatenated, but I need a separator. So what I did here in this case, I'm keep adding the separator separately for every column I'm adding here. If you want to add one more column here, I'll say comma, then again I have to add one more separator and then give one more column here like this. Now if I run this, I'll get the results. Instead, what we'll do, we'll write a query. Select from orders. Here I'll say region, comma, state. Okay. And let's take city as well. Right. Now I want to concat. I'll say concat, open bracket, region. Let me copy this. And I'll put it here. Okay, comma. Now I'll say concat underscore ws. Now open the bracket. First, I should give this separator. What separator? I want hyphen in this case. I'll give hyphen, comma. Then mention all the columns. Region, comma. State, comma. City, close bracket. Let me run this. F5, see. I don't have to give every time the separators. Automatically, the separators will add for all the columns I've mentioned here. Now, suppose if you want for category, I just have to go mention the column here. That's it. Now let me select this, say F5, see. So likewise, we can actually use this concat and concat ws. So when are we using this concat? Whenever you feel that, see, when you have very less number of columns, you can use this concat. When you have more number of columns to be merged along with the separator, then use concat underscore ws. All right. Next, left, right, and substring. In Excel, we have left, right, and mid. But here we don't have left, right, and mid. Here we have left, right, and substring. So substring is something like mid function what we have. Okay. All right. So let's go here. And what we'll do, we'll say select. Okay. From orders. Let me select order ID and I will run this. You can see that in order ID, just check this. We have three different sections. One is the country code, then year, and then there is one order code. I want to separate this. I want to get first characters and middle 4 characters. Then I need the last 6 characters. Now what we'll do, we'll go here. I will say comma left of open bracket. You can see that it will say expression and number of characters. Expression means from which column I'm actually taking, let's say order. Okay, comma. How many characters I need? I need 2 characters. You can see that I have this order ID. I have these 2 characters. So, I need the 2 characters. Let me select this. Let's say F. See, the first 2 characters will be extracted. All right. Next, same thing. I'll copy, paste it. I want the last 6 characters. I'll say right of order ID, last 6 characters. Let me select this, execute. See, the last 6 characters I'm getting. Now, what if I want to get the middle 4 characters? Let me copy this. And here I'll mention substring. There is no mid actually, it is substring. The parameter changes here. Order ID, this is what I need in the column, comma, it lasts for the starting position. Starting position means, say, I need from where I need to extract the data. Let's go here. I'll say, if you see this order ID, 1, 2, 3, 4. From 4th position, I need 4 characters. So from 4th position, I need 4 characters. Let me execute this. See, I'll get the middle 4 characters. All right. Now let me copy this. I want all these 3 functions together. Let me copy this left. I'm just copying instead of typing. Comma. Then we have this right. Comma. And now I will select the query. If I can see all the section, whatever is there, they are actually separated. Let me move this substring to middle. Select. See. Now I can see there is no column names. Let's give the column name. How to give alias name? Country ID. Then here. Select this F5. I can see that I'm getting the heading as well. So likewise, I can actually use this alias name for giving the column names, right? Okay. So this is about extracting the data that is left, right, and mid, that is substring. Len. Suppose I want to get the number of characters. I have the customer name. I want to know how many characters are there. So what I'll do, I'll go here and I will say select from orders. Okay. I want this customer name. And to know how many characters are there in customer name. Let's take this column and I'll say let open bracket, close bracket. Let's run this. See, it will give me the number of characters. So here you can see I have 11 characters, 15 characters, 14 characters. All these are actually including the space. Right, so whenever you see this number of characters, it is along with the space or any special characters or anything. Okay, so you should be very careful. Don't think that this will ignore space. It will include the space as well. All right. Next, Ltrim, Rtrim. Ltrim and Rtrim are actually used for trimming the spaces, that is unwanted spaces. Now what happens sometimes, we have some spaces while importing the data. Suppose if you think that I'm copying some data from somewhere and I'm actually trying to paste it, or I would have extracted the data from somewhere, what happens, we might get some extra spaces. I cannot go and find and replace all the spaces, so we have something called as Ltrim and Rtrim. I'm not sure whether we have the data like this, but still I'll just use the customer name as my column to clean the data. So we'll say Ltrim and Rtrim. So what I'll do, select from orders, customer name. Let's take both the functions here only. Ltrim and I'll put this Ltrim, comma, R. Okay. Come. Right. Now here, I'm not sure whether we'll get the right results because we don't have any spaces here, but still I'm just mentioning this function. Select this. If I execute this, if at all I have spaces, that is leading spaces, then it is Ltrim. That is left trim. If I'm having the space towards my right hand side, then we can remove this by using Art. All right. Next is replace and stuff. Replace and stuff. Replace means we're trying to replace the characters. So it can be a single word or it can be one single character as well. So let's say I want to replace, I'll take the order ID only. Select. I'll take order ID. Let me execute this. You can see that I have this hyphen. I want to replace this hyphen. Okay, I want to replace this hyphen with the slash. So what I'll do, I'll copy this order ID. Then I'll say replace, open bracket. Okay. Replace what? Replace order ID. In this, I have hyphen. Replace that with slash. Sorry, it should be single quote, not double quote. So always it's confusion between Excel and SQL. There should be single quote. Replace order ID hyphen with slash. Let me select this and I'll execute this. See? The hyphens are replaced with slash. Next, suppose if you want to replace, say I have some 4 characters here, that is year. All these 4 characters has to be replaced with X. Now imagine if it is a specific character, say hyphen. It's a specific character. I'm trying to replace that with the slash. But here I have some characters. That is in middle, we have some years or something. So here I need to replace the characters. Whatever characters are there, the middle 4 characters has to be replaced with 4x like this. Now what I'll do, over here I'll say select from orders. Let me select this order ID. You know that the order ID, we have this CA-2017 and some code here. I want this to be replaced. That is the center, whatever we have this year to be replaced with X. I'll say stuff. In Excel, it is slightly difference is there. Replace means that will work as stuff, and what we have replaced here will work as substitute in Excel. Stuff. So what is that? Let's say I want the order ID. So in this order ID, from 4th character, that is from 4th position, 4 characters has to be replaced. See, in this case, I've taken product ID. Here I'm taking this order ID. Say from 4th character, 4 characters has to be replaced with X, close bracket. Let me select this. I'll execute. See, the middle 4 characters has been replaced. Let me take one more example. We'll take the same thing. This time we'll take product ID. Okay. Now this product ID, let me first check what is there in product ID. See, select product. In this case, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From 5th position, 2 characters has to be replaced. So I'll take this product ID and then I'll paste it here. Here I'll say from 5th position, I want. Okay, from 5th position, the 2 characters has to be replaced with X. Now let me select this and I'll say execute. See, the middle 2 characters have been replaced with 4x like this. So this is called as stuff. So when I say stuff, that means I'm trying to replace from position with number of characters. Right. Replicate. Replicate means repeating a character multiple times. Now, for example, go here. I want to repeat a character X multiple times. So what I'll do, I'll use this. So in this case, not always you have to select the table itself. I'll go here, I'll just use this, replicate, open bracket, X, say 10 times. Just imagine I'm not taking any table here. I'm just trying to work on this function. X is repeating 10 times. Suppose if I say from orders, I know what will happen. When I select this and say execute, see the number of records, whatever is there in this table, those many times it is repeating, because I'm not taken any columns here. Those many number of times the records are there, those many number of times it will repeat. So if you want to check something without table also we can do, so that we can get only one value here. Otherwise, if you want to work the same thing on a table, then we can use this. Say, oh here, let me just customer name. Sometimes you might make some spelling mistakes, so it's better to copy and paste. Okay. Now if I run this, see, I have this customer name and I have this. Let's try here. See, I have some characters here. Those many number of times I need to have this X. So let's try this. Go here. I'll say len of customer name. Let me copy this. Okay, so what I did, I have the len of customer name. Those many number of times I need X to be repeated. Let's try this. See, I'm getting this X. If you want, you can go here. We can take len of customer name to get the number of times it is repeated. Go here, say execute, see. You can see that I'm getting this 11. That means 11 times we are getting this X. So the number of times I'm mentioning here, so the number of len what I'm getting here, the same thing we are getting the X as well. So likewise, we can use these functions, for getting the results. Like, all right, the next one what we have is reverse and space. Reverse. I'll give one name. I need to reverse that name. Let's take this customer name itself. Take this customer name. And I'll say reverse. Let's give this customer name. Select. See. You can see that I have the customer name here, and you can see it is reversed. So if you think there are some characters which you need to reverse, so you can use this reverse function to reverse the character, the word. Space. I need to add some space. We saw one example here, concat. We used to use this characters, that is delimiter. Similarly, suppose if you want to use space, so what I'll do, I'll say select from orders. Now what we'll do, we'll go here. We'll try to take this customer name and I need to combine this state. So we can also use like this plus. Instead of concat, we can use like this as well. Now if I go, say F5, you can see that they are getting combined. Here I want to combine some space. Say I'll go here, try to add some space. one space I'm combining. Select, see, I'm getting one space. I want to get one character. Select F5. But what if I want to add more spaces like this? I'm getting the space here. You can see, select. So I'm getting space here, but I don't know how many space I've given. Specifically, if you want to give some space, then what I'll do, there is a function called a space. How many space? Let's say I need 10 space. Select, execute. See, I'm getting 10 space. Let me give 50 space. Select, execute. See, I have 50 spaces here. So whenever you think that I need some space here, I can go here. I can have this space function, which will give me the number of space required. Okay, right. Next, we have something called as translate. So what is this translate? Translate is to replace a specific characters. Say, for example, I want to replace, say, in customer name, wherever I have this A, it should be 1. E, it should be 2. I, 3. O, 4. U as 5. So if I want to translate something like, encoding, let me go here. Let me select this customer name. And we'll execute. You can see that I'm getting the names here. I want to encode this, say wherever I have this AEIOU with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll translate, comma, we'll say translate. Okay, open bracket. What is it I need to translate? Say customer name from wherever I have this AEIOU, translate that to 1, 2, 3, 4. Close. Now, wherever you see this, say for example, I have this A, that should be 1. Wherever I have this E, it should become 2. So likewise, whatever characters are mentioned here, that should be replaced with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me select this and I'll say execute. See, you can see here, I'm getting the names. So wherever I have this A, it is 1, I, it is 3, then you can see E as 2. So likewise, the names have been replaced. So this one we can actually send it to someone so that it will be something like people will think that it's a junk characters, but after that we can again encode, we can again say translate, and same thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to AEIOU, so that all these names whatever is there, that will again get replaced. So likewise we can use this translate. So these are some of the commonly used functions what we use in SQL. Still there are so many functions which we actually don't use much, but whatever functions are given, these are very much required for extracting the data, cleaning of the data, that is text columns. There are some number functions, date functions, conditional functions, which I'll discuss with you people in the next session, because that is also more important for us whenever we do the calculations, like what we saw, the sum, average, minimum, max, and count. Similarly, we have some number functions which we can work on each row or say each record. Okay, so whatever we worked on the number functions, that is sum, average, minimum, and max, they are actually functions, but they work on group of data. But what we are actually trying to learn now is the formula which I can apply, the function what we can apply on each records. Okay, right. So I'll stop here. Now we still have time. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Before that, I just want 1 minute of yours. How was today's session? Quickly, I want all of you to message how was today's session. Then I'll take your questions. Quickly. What happened? Good. All right. Very good. Thank you so much, all of you. All right. Now the questions. All right. Now ask me any questions you have. I will answer it. Yeah, people, you can ask me questions. Okay, Bharat is asking, I have multiple names. I want and .com for all those at the end. Multiple names in the sense if it is in record, okay. If the names are in record, you can just use this concat. So here, if you go, we have this concat, right? So what we can do, say for example, let me go here. Say select. We copy this, typing again and again. So what you can do, we can use this plus, or we can use the function. Say plus. .com. That's it. See, we can add this .com. Like this, we can do. Okay, Bharat. Or you can use concat. Concat also will work. Concat. Take this customer name, comma, .com. Like this also we can. Right. Bharat, got it? Gopi, how to get the okay, how to get results in same column and new column like PQE in Excel. Gopi, I didn't get your question. How to get results in same column and new column? Can you be more specific, Gopi? Your question. Meanwhile, I'll take. There is one more question. Santosh is asking one question. How to include space between characters instead of slash? It is very easy. Instead of slash, you just give space. That's all. Let me show you. See, go here. State. Instead of the slash, just give a space. That's all. Select. See, I'll get the space here. I'll give one more space. Select. Execute. See. Got it, Santosh? No. Edit results in the same column. There is edit results in new column in same column as we did in Power Query Editor. Yes. So Gopi, see, when I apply a function, okay, even in Excel also, you cannot write function on the same column. We actually use functions and we'll create a new column. Suppose if we are actually trying to modify or say, change any values in the same column which is there, then that is not function, that we have to use update. That is, we need to update the data. So when you come to this update, I'll tell you how to modify the existing column. So there on the same column, we cannot use function. You have to create a new column that is called as calculated columns. Okay, now what we have done, we have added the function. When I add a function, there is a new column which will get created, that is calculated column, and then we can get this result. This column is not available in the table. Okay, this is just We are applying one function and then we are getting the results. And again, you see, whenever I use this function and I'm actually extracting the data, you can see that it says no column name. That means this column is actually not there in the table. We have to specify the column name by using alias. Okay, you cannot write function on the same column. We can actually write a function and create another column, that is calculated columns, and then get the results. If you want to modify, if you want to write the function, if you want to modify the existing data, then you have to use update. Okay, that when you come to this update query, I'll explain. Right. Next. Right. So if you don't have any questions, I'll close this session. So tomorrow also we'll work on functions, that is number functions. We'll work on date functions. And if you have time, then we'll work on conditional functions as well. Otherwise, we'll split that. Okay. All right. All of you, take care. See you guys tomorrow in more functions session. Okay. Have a great day, people. Take care. Bye-bye.